Hi guys, and welcome back from Thanksgiving break. I hope you had a really nice week off, feel refreshed and ready to go. Our video is not going to be very long. I just wanted to do a review of our adding and subtracting our negative integers. So that's all the stuff that we did right before Thanksgiving break. It's 9 problems and that's it. So it shouldn't take very long. Please remember that I am going to need you guys to have some graph paper because we're going to move on to having to use that, and we'll focus a lot on that probably for the next 3 weeks before we, end the quarter. So just please make sure you're getting some of that. It'll make your life much easier when we actually start new stuff. So let's get started. Again, 9 problems and that's it. It's probably easier for you just to number 1 through 9, and then we'll just go through each of the problems. So first one, please write down 5 plus negative 3. Because this is an adding problem, what we have to do is just look at, do we have a positive and a negative number? So we have a positive 5 and a negative 3 because they're opposites. We just subtract. So I do 5 minus 3 like normal, and that gives me a 2. And then I look at which number is bigger. Well, 5 is bigger and 5 is positive, so that means my final answer is positive 2. Question 2. We have negative 4 plus negative 7. Well, I'm adding, so that's good, but this time they're both negatives. So because they're both negatives, I just add like normal. I do 4 plus 7, and that's 11. Because they're both negative, my answer's negative. Oh, question 3. This is 4 minus negative 5. Well, because this is subtraction, we have to remember that phrase. Copy, add, the opposite. So I'm going to abbreviate opposite as OPP because there's just not a lot of room to write. So I'm going to actually show that off to the side. So we have copy 4, so I just rewrite 4, change the minus to a plus, and I'm going to do the opposite of negative 5. And if it's easier for you to see this negative, if it's highlighted, let's do that. So the opposite of a negative 5 is positive 5. So this is the problem we're actually solving. We're going to do 4 plus 5. Well, 4 plus 5, that's just 9. I want you guys to pause the video, and I want you to try 4 and 5 because they are subtraction, and that means just copy, add the opposite for both of these problems. I want you to pause the video now and try them. Okay, let's see how this went. So both 4 and 5 are copy at the opposite. So we're going to rewrite the problems. Originally on question 4, we have negative 3 minus negative 6. So this becomes negative 3 because I copy negative 3, change the minus sign to a plus sign, and I'm going to do the opposite of a negative 6. And the opposite of negative 6 is positive 6. Well, now that I'm adding, I see I have 1 negative and 1 positive, so I subtract. So I do 6 minus 3, and that's 3. And I'm looking at which number is bigger, and 6 is bigger, which means, and it's positive, which means my answer is positive. So hopefully you got a positive 3. If you didn't, please make sure you're correcting your work as we're going through this video. Let's see how question 5 went for you. Question 5, we originally had 2 minus 8, but it's a minus, so we have to use copy, add the opposite. So that's copy 2, change a minus to a plus, and this time we're doing the opposite of a positive 8. This is a nice normal 8. So the opposite of a positive 8 is a negative 8. Now we're looking here. I have 2 different signs. I have a positive and a negative, so we're subtracting. So I have 8 minus 2, and 8 minus 2 is 6. And then which number is bigger? Well, 8 is bigger, and 8's negative, which means the answer is negative. Good. Okay, just a few more. I'm going to go through 6 and 7 again, and then you guys will do 8 and 9, and that'll be it. So 6, says negative 3 plus 9. Well, it's just a normal adding problem. So meaning, when I say normal adding problem, I mean I'm looking at, do I have a negative and a positive number? Well, I do. I have a negative 3 and a positive 9. Because they're opposites, I subtract. And so I do 9 minus 3, and that's 6. And I look at which number's bigger. Well, 9 is bigger. 9 is positive, so my answer stays positive. Okay, let's see. Cool. Question 7. I see some subtraction, so that means I'm going to have to use that phrase, copy, add the opposite. So we have 10 minus negative 4. So let me show my work off to the side. I'm going to copy the 10, change a minus to a plus, and I'm going to do the opposite of a negative 4, which is a positive 4. So I'm really doing 10 plus 4. And 10 plus 4 is 14. Okay, last two, and these are the ones I want you to do. On number 9, there's a subtraction sign. So this you need to use copy, add the opposite, okay? So try these two problems. Please pause now and try them out. Okay, let's see how you did. So we have 2 plus negative 10. Well, I'm looking at, are they different signs? So is one positive, one negative? Yep. So that means I subtract. 10 minus 2, and 10 minus 2 is 8. And I'm going to look at which number is bigger. Well, 10 is bigger, and 10 is negative, which means you should have gotten a negative 8. If you made a mistake, make sure you correct it. And the last problem is 4 minus 5. So I already told you before that we have to use copy, add the opposite, because it's a minus sign. So we're going to rewrite it so it's adding like the last problem. I'm going to rewrite 4. That means what the copy is. Change that minus to a plus. And I'm going to do the opposite of a normal positive 5. And the opposite of a normal positive 5, that's a negative 5. Oh, okay, so now let's see what I got here. I have a positive and a negative, so I'm going to subtract them. So I do 5, and I'm going to take away 4. And 5 take away 4 is 1. Which number's bigger? Well, 5 is bigger, and 5 is negative. So my answer is negative. So you should have gotten a final answer of negative 1. Okay, that is it. So we are starting fresh after this. We're going to move on to brand new stuff tomorrow. I hope this was a good refresher. I feel like it hopefully brought back some memories. And I will see you guys tomorrow for our live class. Now we have a new schedule, okay? So our class is going to start, class starts at 10:05. So it's starting earlier now, okay? Because we've changed our schedule, so we have shorter classes since we're all remote now. That's supposed to be an @ sign. I should just write out the word. I don't know what's happening. Starts at 10:05, okay? So I'll be a little lenient if you're a few minutes late. I know it's going to be hard to remember, but please try to get to our class on time at 10:05. I'll see you guys tomorrow.